Hi friends, good morning. Welcome to Shankaran IAS Study Circle. This is Dr. Harinath Reddy, Director of the Institute. Today in this particular video, we will try to discuss about the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission with respect to local body grants. And when I discuss about the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission with respect to local body grants, I will also be discussing simultaneously the recommendations of the 13th Finance Commission and the 14th Finance Commission. The reason is questions are coming in the mains exam, especially in the civil services mains exam, wherein the recommendations of one finance commission is asked to be compared with another finance commission. For example, earlier there was a question in the civil services mains exam. Compare the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission with respect to local body grants with that of the 13th Finance Commission. Similarly, there is a possibility that a question may come this way. Discuss the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission. Discuss the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission with respect to local body grants and how these recommendations differ with that of 14th Finance Commission. So that's how the questions might come. So this particular topic important for civil services mains, ABPSC Group 1 mains, TSPSC Group 1 mains, and also useful for prelims Group 1, Group 2 civil services, because the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission, they are valid for the next 5 years till 2025-26. The same recommendations are useful. And then before we get started, all of you know that in 1992, Indian Parliament has enacted two important amendments to the Indian Constitution. 73rd Amendment relating to rural local self-governing institutions, 74th Amendment relating to urban local self-governing institutions. So this is the third tier which was added to the three-tier federation in India. Remember, before 1992, that is before 73rd and 74th amendments to the Indian Constitution, India was a two-tiered federation. There were two levels of government created by the Constitution: central government at the union level, state government at the state level. But with the enactment of the 73rd Amendment and the 74th Amendment, with the enactment of the 73rd Amendment and the 74th Amendment in 1992, we have created yet another tier, that is the third tier in the Federal Constitution. So that is the significance of 73rd and the 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts. Then these 73rd Amendment, 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, both came into force in 1993. Both came into force in 1993. And then the practice of giving grants to the local governments on the recommendations of the Finance Commission of India, giving grants to the local self-governing institutions to strengthen them financially on the recommendations of the Finance Commission of India started with 10th Finance Commission. 10th Finance Commission. So this 10th Finance Commission was appointed in 1992, the year in which the 73rd and 74th amendments were enacted. So I told that the 73rd and the 74th constitutional amendments were enacted in 1992 and they came into force in 1993. So the same year in which these amendments were done, in 1992, 10th Finance Commission was constituted under the chairmanship of K.C. Pant, Krishna Chandra Pant, K.C. Pant, Krishna Chandra Pant. So K.C. Pant is the chairman. K.C. Pant is the chairman of 10th Finance Commission. So starting from 10th Finance Commission of India, grants are being recommended to the local bodies by the Finance Commission of India. And so now we will discuss the most recent recommendations of the Finance Commissions with respect to local body grants. We will discuss the 13th Finance Commission, we will discuss the 14th Finance Commission, we will also discuss the 15th Finance Commission, so that you will get to know what were the changes in course of time when it comes to recommendations relating to local body grants. So let's get started. So here, let's get started with the 13th Finance Commission. The first important recommendation of the 13th Finance Commission is, so we were discussing the recommendations of 13th Finance Commission of India with respect to local body grants. The first recommendation is relating to Article 243I. Article 243I in the 73rd Amendment, Article 243Y in the 74th Amendment, both deal with the State Finance Commission. So Article 243I says a State Finance Commission shall be constituted every 5th year, every 5 years. But 13th Finance Commission has given a recommendation to amend Article 243I. What shall be the amendment? Every 5th year or even earlier. Every 5th year or even earlier. Every 5th year or even earlier. How does this amendment help? For example, before a Finance Commission of India is constituted at the union level by the union government, if the State Finance Commissions are constituted well before the Finance Commission of India, the recommendations of the State Finance Commission will be made available to Finance Commission of India for it to give recommendations to the local bodies. So when the Union Finance Commission recommends grants to the local bodies, if it has before it the recommendations of the State Finance Commission, then Union Finance Commission will be able to do much more useful work. So that's the reason why this amendment is proposed. Article 243I shall be amended to include the word even earlier. In every state, State Finance Commission shall be constituted every 5th year or even earlier. If this flexibility is given, every state can constitute a State Finance Commission well before the Union Finance Commission of India is constituted, so that the recommendations of the State Finance Commissions can be considered by the Union Finance Commission before it recommends local body grants. That is the purpose. This is one important recommendation made by the 13th Finance Commission. The second one, the 13th Finance Commission also recommended grants to special areas. Here, what do you mean by special areas? For example, the 5th schedule areas and the 6th schedule areas. The 5th schedule areas and the 6th schedule areas, usually they don't come under the purview of the State Finance Commissions. So in addition to rural and urban local self-governing institutions under the 73rd and the 74th Amendments, in addition, the 13th Finance Commission also recommended grants to the special areas. So here the special areas mean 5th schedule areas, 6th schedule, autonomous councils. The next one, then the next important recommendation of the 13th Finance Commission is, remember, the expenditure made by the central government and the state governments is audited by CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Then what is the purpose of auditing the expenditure of the central and the state government? To see whether the money is properly spent for the intended purpose, whether there is any wastage of money. Similarly, 13th Finance Commission says local fund audit is done by the state government itself through its state bureaucracy. The accounts of the central government, the accounts of the state government, they are audited by the CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General, which is an independent constitutional authority. But at the state level, the expenditure made by the local bodies, both rural and urban local self-governing institutions, this expenditure is audited by the state government employees known by the name local fund audit. So here 13th Finance Commission says to see that the expenditure is made properly, to verify whether the expenditure is properly made or not, and to see whether there is any wastage of money, the local fund audit shall be strengthened. So the department or the Directorate, the department which deals with auditing the expenditure of the local governments, must be strengthened. How it has to be strengthened? Through capacity building. Capacity building, both in terms of institutions and personnel. So, local fund audit, the institution needs to be strengthened, and even there shall be strengthening and a capacity building of human resources within this local fund audit department. Local fund audit department. This is a very, very important recommendation to make sure that the expenditure made by the local governments is properly done without any wastage, without diverting money other than for the cause for which it is allotted. This is very important recommendation. Then the 13th Finance Commission also has made one important recommendation. The recommendation is the state governments must encourage the local bodies to generate revenues by themselves, and this can be done by giving a matching grant. For example, if a particular local government generates say 100 crores, the state government can say that it will give another 20 crores. So, through a system of incentives, the state government must encourage the local governments to generate their own revenues. This will improve the financial situation of the local governments in course of time. So, this is the purpose for giving this recommendation. And the next one, in many situations, the local governments will be providing services to the central government and the state government departments. So, in terms of supply of electricity, drinking water. So, in every state there will be departments of the center and the states working in a particular locality for the services which are rendered to the central government and the state government departments. The central government and the state government, should adequately compensate for the services of the local governments. What do you mean by that? If the local governments provide services to the institutions of the central government, the institutions of the state government, the central government and the state government should pay back money for the local governments for the services which they have received. So, this will financially empower the local governments. That is the idea behind this recommendation. In addition to this, the money which the states are getting through royalties, the money which the state governments are getting, through royalties, for example, royalties which are levied on mining of minor minerals. So, in this, the revenues which the state governments get through royalties, this revenue must be shared with the local governments. Again, this will improve the financial situation of the local government. That is the idea behind this recommendation. In addition to this, see this is a very important recommendation. Though 73rd and 74th amendments to the Indian Constitution provide for, the establishment of the State Finance Commission, many a times the state governments have not constituted the state finance commissions, and even if they are constituted, the reports are not submitted in time. Even if the reports are submitted in time, the state governments have not taken any action on the report of the State Finance Commission. So, 13th Finance Commission gives a recommendation to strengthen State Finance Commission, because the recommendations of the State Finance Commission, they form the basis for distributing the grants among the rural and urban local self-governing institutions. So, here state governments should ensure that the recommendations of the State Finance Commissions are implemented without delay, and that the action taken report is promptly placed before the legislature. So, the recommendations of the State Finance Commission, they shall be laid before the legislature, and what action is taken on these recommendations, again the legislature has to, again the executive branch, that is the state government, must prepare an action taken report. This is again very, very important recommendation. And if you see this recommendation, as I told you, the provisions of the 73rd amendment and the provisions of the 74th amendment, they do not apply to certain areas. like the 5th schedule areas and the 6th schedule areas. In such areas, the recommendation is bodies similar to the State Finance Commission should be set up in states which are not covered by Part 9 or Part 9A of the Constitution. So, to consider, to look into the financial needs of the 5th schedule areas and the 6th schedule areas, institutions like the State Finance Commission must be established even in such states where there are 5th schedule areas and the 6th schedule areas, to consider and give recommendations with respect to the finances of the 5th and the 6th schedule areas. That is one important recommendation. In addition to this is not a very important recommendation, but again, though it is minor, we will see. So, some of the grants which are provided to the urban local bodies, they must be used to revamp the fire services within their jurisdiction. Revamp the fire services. Revamp the fire services within their jurisdiction. So, a portion of the grants provided by the central government to urban local bodies should be used to revamp the fire services within their jurisdiction. Then, this again is very important recommendation. In many states, in the metropolitan areas as well as in the urban areas, for the development of the urban areas, parallel organizations called urban development authorities are created. And the functions of the urban development authorities, they overlap with the functions of the urban local bodies. And because of the presence of the urban development authorities which are not integrated with urban local bodies, the urban local bodies are undermined. So, that is why the 13th Finance Commission has made a very important recommendation of involving the urban local bodies in planning for the development of the urban areas. And the finances which the urban development authorities generate, they must be shared with the urban local governments. This again is a very, very important recommendation which shall be implemented. And in addition to this, the next recommendation is, in the cantonment areas, in addition to the area which is under the direct control of the military, there are civilian areas within the cantonment areas. So, with respect to that, the 13th Finance Commission says the development plans for civilian areas within the cantonment areas should be brought before the district planning committee. This again is very important recommendation. So, what does this mean? We had in the 74th amendment to the Indian Constitution, in the 74th amendment to the Indian Constitution, we had one article, Article 243 ZD. This Article 243 ZD provides for the establishment of DPC, District Planning Committee. And what does the District Planning Committee does? The District Planning Committee integrates the plans prepared by the rural and urban local self-governing institutions in that particular district. So, here the recommendation is for the civilian areas within the cantonment boards, the civilian areas within the cantonment boards, for these areas, developmental plans have to be prepared and they must be brought before the district planning committee. This again is a sensible recommendation. Then, in addition to this, the last recommendation, the 13th Finance Commission also says state governments should lay down guidelines for the constitution of Nagara Panchayats. State governments should lay down guidelines for the constitution of Nagara Panchayats. So, that is it about the recommendations of 13th Finance Commission of India. Let us move to the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission of India. Recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission of India. Here, if you compare the recommendations of the 13th Finance Commission of India if you compare the recommendations of the 13th Finance Commission of India, if you compare the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission, if you compare the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission with the 15th Finance Commission, there were a number of differences. If you compare the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission with the 15th Finance Commission, there were a number of differences. I told there can be a separate question on how does the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission differ with the 14th Finance Commission with respect to local body grants. That can be a separate question. So, to answer such questions, let us see the discussion. 14th Finance Commission has recommended grants only for Grama Panchayats. So, you know that the rural local self-governing institutions, there are three kinds of rural local self-governing institutions: Grama Panchayat, Intermediate Panchayat, District Panchayat. 14th Finance Commission has recommended grants only to Grama Panchayat. Intermediate Panchayat, for District Panchayat, grants are not recommended by the 14th Finance Commission of India. The 14th Finance Commission of India felt the financial needs of the intermediate and the district panchayat will be taken care by the state government. In addition to this, it also said it is the Grama Panchayat which provides the basic services. The intermediate and the district panchayat, they do not provide the basic services, so it is not necessary to give grants to the intermediate and district panchayat. But when it comes to the 15th Finance Commission, grants were given to all the three kinds of rural local self-governing institutions. Grants were given to Grama Panchayat, grants were given to Intermediate Panchayat, grants were given to even District Panchayat. That is by 15th Finance Commission, all the three tiers. Then when it comes to the 14th Finance Commission, it has not recommended any grants to the 5th schedule and the 6th schedule areas, because the provisions of the 73rd Amendment and the provisions of the 74th Amendment, they do not apply to 5th schedule and the 6th schedule areas. So, 14th Finance Commission has not recommended any grants to the 5th schedule and the 6th schedule areas. So, 5th schedule, 6th schedule, grants were not recommended. But 15th Finance Commission has recommended grants to the 5th schedule and the 6th schedule areas. 14th Finance Commission has not recommended such grants. Then the next one, 14th Finance Commission has not recommended grants to cantonment boards. But 15th Finance Commission has recommended grants to cantonment boards. 14th Finance Commission has not recommended grants to cantonment boards. 15th Finance Commission has recommended grants even to the cantonment boards. In addition to this, 14th Finance Commission has not recommended any grants exclusively for million plus cities. But 15th Finance Commission has recommended separate grants for million plus cities. So let us see the other differences. 14th Finance Commission, 15th Finance Commission. 15th Finance Commission. So here the 14th Finance Commission has not recommended grants exclusively for the million plus cities. Million plus cities, no grants. Million plus cities, no grants. No grants. But here 15th Finance Commission has recommended grants for the million plus cities. Remember, the entire grant which is recommended for the million plus cities, it is a performance grant. Then, in addition to this, if you see the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission, the grants which are recommended to the rural local bodies, they are of two categories: basic grant, performance grant. Basic grant and performance grant, they are in the ratio of 90:10. Under the recommendations of 14th Finance Commission, the grants which are given to the rural local bodies, they are broadly categorized into two: basic grant, performance grant. In the rural areas, basic grant is 90%, performance grant is 10%. In the urban areas, it is 80:20. The 14th Finance Commission has recommended for the urban local bodies two kinds of grants, basic and performance. Basic is 80% grant, performance grant is 20%. But when it comes to the 15th Finance Commission, it has called the grants as untied and tied grants. Untied and tied grants. Untied grants and tied grants. Untied grants and tied grants. And both in the rural local bodies and urban local bodies. When it comes to the rural local bodies, untied grant is 40%, tied grant is 60%. Tied grant is 60%. So this is 60%, it is for solid waste management, drinking water purpose. Even in the urban local bodies, where the population is less than 1 lakh, the grants are broadly classified into untied and tied. Again, untied is 40%. Tied grant is 60%. Tied grant is 60%. So that's how the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission and the 15th Finance Commission, they differ with each other. They differ with each other. In addition to this, 14th Finance Commission has not recommended any grant for the purpose of health to be spent through local governments. But the 15th Finance Commission has recommended grants separately for healthcare sector to be spent through both rural and urban local self-governing institutions. Like this, there were a number of differences between the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission with that of the 14th Finance Commission when it comes to the local body grants. Broadly, these are the differences. But let's go into the details of the recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission and also the recommendations of 15th Finance Commission. Recommendations of the 14th Finance Commission and 15th Finance Commission. 14th Finance Commission. As I told you, 14th Finance Commission has made it very clear that the grants which are recommended by the Finance Commission of India, they shall be spent by the rural and urban local bodies only on basic services. Only on basic services. This is one important recommendation. Then in addition to this, the second important recommendation, the states should take action to facilitate local bodies to compile accounts and have them audited in time. This again is very important. Maintenance of accounts and auditing of accounts. So I told that the 14th Finance Commission has recommended two kinds of grants, performance grant, basic grant. If it is an urban local body, 80% is basic grant, 20% is performance grant. If it is a rural local body, 90% is basic grant, 10% is performance grant. 10% is performance grant. So this performance grant is given only if a particular local body maintains the accounts of the expenditure and if it submits the audit report of the expenditure made by the local governments. So every local government must maintain the accounts of the expenditure made by them and they should also get that accounts audited, then only they will be eligible for performance grant. So that is one important recommendation by 14th Finance Commission. As I told you, the 14th Finance Commission has recommended grants only to the Grama Panchayat. The intermediate Panchayat and the district Panchayat were not given any grant by the Finance Commission of India. 14th Finance Commission of India. But when it comes to the urban local bodies, for all the three categories, grants were recommended. So Nagara Panchayat, municipality, municipal corporation. Nagara Panchayat, municipality, municipal corporation. For all these three categories of urban local self-governing institutions, grants were recommended. But when it comes to the rural local bodies, grants were recommended only for Grama Panchayat, but not for intermediate and district Panchayat. But I told 15th Finance Commission has recommended grants for all the three categories of rural local bodies. That you should remember. In addition to this, see here, the total grant which is recommended by the 14th Finance Commission, the total grant recommended by the 14th Finance Commission for the local bodies, for the period of 2015 to 20, it is a 2,87,436. The total local body grant recommended by the 14th Finance Commission for the period of 2015 to 20, it is a 2,87,436 crores. So this is factual information, but sometimes important for your group 2 exam. Out of this money, the money which is given to Grama Panchayats, I told money is not given for intermediate and a district panchayat. Local body grants were given only to the Grama Panchayat, but not to the intermediate and a district panchayat. Then what is the total grant which is recommended to the Grama Panchayat? It is a 2,292,000 crores. 2,292,000 crores. And when it comes to the municipalities, for all the 3 categories of the urban local government, the total grant recommended is 87,143 crores. 87,143 crores. So that's one important recommendation. Then, as I told you earlier, the grants recommended by the 14th Finance Commission, they were divided into 2 categories. One is basic grant. The second one, performance grant. Basic grant, performance grant. So when it comes to the Grama Panchayat, this I have already told you. Grama Panchayat, basic grant is 90% and performance grant is 10%. When it comes to the urban areas, basic grant is 80%, performance grant is 20%. So this is again very important recommendation. Remember, the grants recommended to the Grama Panchayats and urban local bodies is in the form of 2 categories, performance grant, basic grant. When it comes to Grama Panchayat, basic grant is 90%, performance grant is 10%. When it comes to the urban local bodies, basic grant is 80%, performance grant is 20%. So performance grant will be given only to those local governments which have maintained the accounts of their expenditure and also which have audited their accounts. If this is not done, they are not eligible for performance grant. That's one important recommendation. Then the total grant which is recommended, to the Grama Panchayats, how this money has to be distributed among the different Grama Panchayats.